Do you even know who my father is? He writes the laws you follow, old man. Those words hang in the air of Providence Municipal Court. Every person in the room freezes. Did she really just say that? To Judge Frank Caprio. The woman who spoke is Victoria Ashford. She's 23 years old. Her blonde hair is styled perfectly. Not a single strand out of place. She wears a cream-colored Chanel blazer. It probably costs $4,000. Her Cartier bracelet catches the light. It sparkles like stars. Her Prada heels click on the floor. Each step sounds like money. She stands there, arms crossed, chin up, like she owns the building, like she owns everyone in it. If you believe justice should be equal for everyone, you'll want to see what happens next, because what Judge Caprio does in the next hour will shock the entire nation. The bailiff called this case 10 minutes ago. Case 2025 TR 104,382. A simple traffic violation. At least that's what the paper said. But nothing about this case is simple. Nothing at all. Sitting in the front row is a man named Robert Chen. He's 67 years old. His hair is gray. His hands shake slightly. He wears a Vietnam veteran's cap. It's faded from years of sun. His jacket is old but clean. He ironed it this morning. You can see the careful creases. Robert drives a bus. A school bus. He's done it for 23 years. Every morning at 5:30 a.m., he starts his route. He picks up 47 children. He knows every single name. He knows their parents. He knows which kids need extra help getting on, which ones need reminders about seat belts. He cares about those kids like they're his own grandchildren. 3 months ago, Robert got a parking ticket. He parked in a spot downtown. He was picking up medication for his wife. She has cancer. Stage 3. The treatments are expensive. So expensive that Robert works weekends too. He drives for a rideshare company. At 67 years old, he works 7 days a week. The parking ticket was $150. Robert couldn't pay it right away, so it became $225. Then $300. Now he's here, in court, hoping Judge Caprio will understand, hoping for mercy. His hands grip his veteran's cap. His knuckles are white. Then Victoria Ashford showed up. Her case is different. Very different. 2 weeks ago, Victoria was driving her Range Rover. It's white, custom leather interior. It cost $95,000. She was in a school zone. The speed limit was 15 miles per hour. Signs everywhere. Lights flashing. Orange cones out. Children crossing. Officer Martinez clocked her at 52 miles per hour. 52 in a 15. She blew past a crossing guard, Mrs. Patterson. She's 71 years old. She's been a crossing guard for 30 years. She was helping a little girl cross, 6 years old, holding her hand. Victoria's Range Rover came so close that Mrs. Patterson felt the wind. The little girl screamed. Mrs. Patterson pulled her back. They fell on the sidewalk. The girl scraped her knee. Mrs. Patterson bruised her hip. Victoria didn't stop. Didn't even slow down. She kept driving, turning up her music, checking her makeup in the mirror. Officer Martinez pulled her over 6 blocks later. She was annoyed. Actually annoyed that he stopped her. Now she's here, same day as Robert, same courtroom. But her attitude is completely different. Judge Caprio sits at his bench. He's looking at the schedule. He sees Robert's name first. Mr. Robert Chen, please approach. Robert stands slowly. His knees hurt. Years of driving, years of standing, years of life. He walks to the front. Each step is careful, measured, respectful. Good morning, Your Honor. His voice is quiet, polite. There's an accent there. He came to America 45 years ago. From Taiwan. He learned English. He worked hard. He became a citizen. He served this country in a war. He's proud of that. You can hear it in his voice even when he's nervous. Judge Caprio smiles. It's a kind smile. Warm. Good morning, Mr. Chen. I see you're here about a parking violation. Tell me what happened. Robert explains. His voice shakes a little. Your Honor, my wife. She's sick. Very sick. I was getting her medicine. The pharmacy. It was urgent. I parked. Just 10 minutes. Maybe 12. I came back. There was a ticket. I'm sorry. I should have found better parking, but I was worried about my wife. Judge Caprio nods. He's listening. Really listening. I'm sorry to hear about your wife. What kind of illness? Cancer, Your Honor. She's fighting hard. The treatments, they're expensive. I work a lot, but it's hard to keep up. The judge looks at the file. He sees Robert's record. Clean. Completely clean. Not a single violation in 40 years of driving. He sees the veteran status. He sees the notes about the payment plan requests. Mr. Chen, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your service to this country. I'm going to reduce your fine to $50. You can pay $10 a month. Does that work? Robert's eyes fill with tears, real tears. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service, sir, and tell your wife we're all rooting for her. Robert nods. He can't speak. Too emotional. He walks back to his seat. He's wiping his eyes. The courtroom feels warm. People are smiling. This is why they love Judge Caprio. This is what justice looks like when it's done right. Then the door opens. Click, click, click. Those heels, that sound. Victoria Ashford walks in. She's 20 minutes late. 20 minutes. She doesn't apologize, doesn't explain, just walks in like she's arriving at a party. Her phone is out. She's texting. Her thumb's moving fast. She's not even looking where she's going. The bailiff calls her name. Case 2025 TR 104,382. Victoria Marie Ashford. She doesn't respond, still texting. Ms. Ashford. The bailiff's voice is louder now. Victoria looks up, annoyed, like he interrupted something important. What? I'm here. Relax. The courtroom goes quiet. People stop moving. Did she just tell the bailiff to relax? Judge Caprio watches this. His expression doesn't change. Yet, Ms. Ashford, please approach the bench and put your phone away. Victoria walks forward, slowly, like she's doing him a favor. She doesn't put her phone away, just holds it at her side, screen still glowing. Miss Ashford, do you know why you're here today? She shrugs. Actually shrugs. Some ticket thing. I don't really remember. I get so many. You were cited for reckless driving in a school zone. You were going 52 in a 15-mile-per-hour zone. You nearly hit a crossing guard and a child. Victoria waves her hand. Dismissive. Oh, that. Yeah, they were fine. Nothing actually happened. Judge Caprio's eyes narrow slightly. Nothing happened. Ms. Ashford, you caused a 71-year-old woman and a 6-year-old child to fall to the ground. The child was injured. The woman was injured. Barely. Victoria examines her nails. French manicure. Perfect. Besides, they walked into the street. I had the right of way. A woman in the gallery gasps. Someone whispers, "Is she serious?" Judge Caprio leans forward. Ms. Ashford, you were in a school zone with active crossing guards. You did not have the right of way. You were going 37 miles over the speed limit. Do you understand the severity of this? Victoria sighs, a long dramatic sigh, like he's boring her. Look, Your Honor, or whatever I'm supposed to call you. Can we just settle this? I have a small appointment at 2. I'll pay the fine. Just tell me how much. The judge looks at her, really looks at her. This isn't just about a fine, Ms. Ashford. This is about public safety. This is about responsibility. Responsibility. Victoria says the word like it tastes bad. Right. So what's the damage? 500? 1,000? I can Venmo it right now. She actually pulls out her phone. Opens her banking app. The screen shows her balance. There are 6 figures there. Just sitting and checking. Not invested, not saved. Just there, ready to spend. Judge Caprio doesn't look at the phone. He looks at her face. Ms. Ashford, I'm not sure you understand the situation you're in. I understand perfectly. Victoria's voice changes. Gets harder. Colder. I made a mistake. A tiny mistake. I'll pay. That's how this works, right? You tell me a number. I pay it. We'd all go home. That's not how this works. Sure it is. She smiles. But it's not a real smile. It's sharp, mean. That's how everything works. Money fixes problems. That's life. Officer Martinez stands up. He's been sitting in the back, waiting to testify if needed. He's a big man, strong. He's been a cop for 19 years. He's seen a lot. But the look on his face right now shows anger. Real anger. Your Honor, if I may. Judge Caprio nods. Officer Martinez, please come forward. The officer walks to the front. He's carrying a folder. Inside are photos, body camera footage, reports, all the evidence. Your Honor, I'd like to add some context to this case. When I pulled Ms. Ashford over, she was not cooperative. She refused to roll down her window at first. When she finally did, she was hostile. She asked me if I knew who her father was. She threatened to have me fired. She said, and I quote, "My dad can make one phone call and you'll be directing traffic in the worst neighborhood in the state." Victoria doesn't deny it, doesn't even look embarrassed. She just rolls her eyes. Officer Martinez continues. I asked her if she realized she almost hit a child. She said, almost doesn't count. I'm a good driver. I asked her to step out of the vehicle. She refused. I had to open the door myself. She then tried to film me. Said she was going to post it on social media. Said her followers would cancel me. People in the courtroom are shaking their heads. A man in the back row stands up slightly, then sits back down. He's angry. They're all angry. Judge Caprio takes the folder. He opens it. Inside are screenshots from Victoria's social media, posted the same day as the incident, just 2 hours later. The post says, I just got pulled over by the most rude cop. Like I was barely speeding. He probably has a quota to meet, lol. Meanwhile, actual criminals are running around but sure, pull over the blonde girl. Make it make sense. Hashtag police brutality, hashtag harassment, hashtag daddy lawyer. The post has 47,000 likes, hundreds of comments, most supporting her. Her followers calling the police terrible names, demanding the officer be fired. Judge Caprio reads it out loud. Every word, slowly. Victoria shifts uncomfortably. That's my personal account. You can't use that. You posted it publicly, Ms. Ashford, to 200,000 followers. You made this public. Whatever, it's just social media. Nobody takes that seriously. You have 47,000 people who took it seriously. 47,000 people who think Officer Martinez harassed you, who think he's a bad cop because you lied. I didn't lie. I shared my truth. Judge Caprio closes the folder. He takes off his glasses, rubs his eyes. He's been a judge for decades. He's seen thousands of cases. But this one is something else. Ms. Ashford, do you have an attorney present? No, I don't need one. My dad said this would be simple. Your father is Senator Richard Ashford, correct? Yes. Victoria says this proudly. Chin up. He's a state senator. One of the most powerful in the state, actually. He's on like 5 committees. I'm aware of who your father is. Good. Then you know this is stupid. He already made some calls. This should have been dismissed. I don't even know why I had to come in. The courtroom goes completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Did she just admit to attempted interference? Judge Caprio's expression changes. Something hardens in his eyes. Ms. Ashford, are you telling me that your father attempted to influence this case? Victoria doesn't see the danger. She's smiling. Well, yeah, that's what you do. You use your connections. That's literally how the world works. Are you new? The clerk, Mrs. Patterson, a different Mrs. Patterson from the crossing guard, speaks up. She's 55 years old. Been working in this court for 30 years. Your Honor, if I may, we did receive 3 phone calls last week from the senator's office asking about this case, suggesting it could be handled administratively, without a court appearance. Did you document these calls? Yes, Your Honor, as per protocol. All 3 calls are logged. Times, dates, names of callers. Judge Caprio nods. Add those logs to the record. Victoria is starting to look less confident, just slightly. Wait, what does that mean? It means everything is on the record now, Ms. Ashford. Every call. Every attempt to influence this case. Influence? That's not. It's just. My dad was trying to help. That's what parents do. Parents help their children by teaching them responsibility, not by trying to make consequences disappear. Victoria's face flushes red. Angry now. You know what? This is ridiculous. I'm not standing here and being lectured by some small-town judge. No offense, but do you know what my father does? He has dinner with the governor. The governor? They're friends. Golf buddies. I don't care if your father has dinner with the President of the United States. In this courtroom, you follow the same rules as everyone else. Rules. Victoria laughs. It's not a nice laugh. It's mean. Sharp. Rules are for people who can't afford to break them. The gallery erupts. Not loudly, but there are gasps. Whispers. Someone says, "Oh my God." Another person says, "She didn't just say that." Robert Chen, still sitting in the front row, looks at Victoria. His face shows sadness. Not anger. Just sadness, like he feels sorry for her. Sorry that someone so young is so lost. Judge Caprio holds up his hand. The room quiets down. Ms. Ashford, I'm going to give you a chance. One chance. To think about what you just said. Do you want to rephrase that? Victoria thinks for a moment. For just one moment, it looks like she might apologize. Might back down. But then her phone buzzes. She looks at it. A text from someone. Probably her father. Probably telling her to stay strong. To not back down. To remember who she is. Her face hardens again. No, I don't want to rephrase. I said what I said. It's true. Some people matter more than others. That's not mean. It's just reality. My father creates jobs. He helps the economy. He makes laws. I'm sorry, but that makes him, and me, more valuable than some random person. She glances at Robert. No offense to you, sir. I'm sure you're nice. But my father's work impacts thousands of people. Your work impacts, what, a few dozen kids. Robert doesn't respond. He just looks down at his hands, at his veteran's cap. Judge Caprio stands up. Actually stands up. He never stands up during proceedings. Never. The bailiff looks surprised. The clerk looks surprised. Everyone in the room feels the shift. Something just changed. Ms. Ashford, I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. Victoria opens her mouth to respond. Judge Caprio holds up his hand. No, you've talked enough. Now you listen. She closes her mouth. For the first time, she looks uncertain. You see that man? Judge Caprio points to Robert. That man wakes up at 5:30 every morning. He drives a bus. He makes sure 47 children get to school safely. Every single day, rain or shine, sick or healthy, he does his job. And you know what else? He's a veteran. He fought for this country. He fought so that people like you could live in freedom, could have opportunities, could become senators, could become anything. Victoria shifts her weight. Her heels suddenly seem uncomfortable. And you stand here? In this courtroom, in this court of law, and you tell me that he matters less than you? That his work, his life, his service means less because he's not rich, because he's not powerful. I just meant... I know exactly what you meant, Ms. Ashford. You meant that money equals value, that power equals importance, that people like you deserve different treatment because of who your father is. Judge Caprio walks down from his bench. He's never done this before. Not in 40 years on the bench. He walks right up to where Victoria is standing. He's not threatening, not aggressive, but his presence is powerful, commanding. Let me tell you something about this country, something you should have learned in school, something your father should have taught you. In America, we don't have royalty. We don't have nobles and peasants. We have citizens, equal citizens under the law. He reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out a small book. It's worn, old, the Constitution of the United States. He's carried it for decades, since law school. Do you know what this is? Victoria nods. Barely, the Constitution. That's right. And do you know what it says? It says that all people are created equal, that we all have certain rights, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. It doesn't say, unless you're poor. It doesn't say, unless your father isn't a senator. It says all people. He opens the book. His fingers know exactly where to go. He's read this a million times. The 14th Amendment. Section 1. Listen to these words. Really listen. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Victoria is staring at the floor now. Her confidence is cracking, like ice breaking under weight. Judge Caprio continues, "Equal protection of the laws. Do you understand what that means? It means you don't get special treatment. It means your father can't call in favors. It means in this courtroom, you're just another citizen, just like Mr. Chen, just like Officer Martinez, just like every single person in this room." He closes the book, holds it up. "This document? This is what your father swore to uphold when he became a senator. This is what I swore to uphold when I became a judge. This is what makes America different, special. The rule of law applies to everyone, rich or poor, black or white, powerful or powerless." Victoria's hands are shaking now, just slightly. She tries to hide it, crosses her arms, but everyone can see. "You came in here thinking money would solve this, thinking your father's name would protect you. You insulted a veteran. You insulted this court. You admitted to attempted corruption, and you did it all with a smile on your face, like it was normal, like it was okay." Judge Caprio's voice gets quieter, but somehow more powerful. "It's not okay, Ms. Ashford. It's not even close to okay." He walks back to his bench, sits down, opens the case file again. "Let me tell you what you actually did. Not what you think you did, what you actually did. You drove 37 miles over the speed limit in an active school zone. You endangered the lives of children, of crossing guards, of everyone in that area. Mrs. Patterson, the crossing guard, is 71 years old. She's been doing that job for 30 years. She loves those kids. She protects them. And you almost killed her. You almost killed a 6-year-old girl named Sophie Martinez. Yes, Officer Martinez's daughter." Victoria's face goes white, completely white. I didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't care to know. You didn't stop. Didn't check. Didn't think about anyone but yourself." Officer Martinez's jaw is clenched. His hands are fists. His daughter. This woman almost killed his daughter, and then tried to get him fired. Judge Caprio continues reading. "After the incident, you were hostile to law enforcement. You threatened an officer doing his job. You then went home and lied to 200,000 people on social media. You claimed police brutality. You claimed harassment. You tried to ruin a good man's reputation to cover up your own reckless behavior." He looks at her. "And then, just now, minutes ago, you admitted that your father tried to interfere with this case. You admitted that you believe rules don't apply to you. You admitted that you think some people are worth more than others." Victoria tries to speak. "Your Honor, Ms. Ashford, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want honest answers. Can you do that? Can you be honest?" She nods. "Do you have a job?" "I'm an influencer. I have sponsorships." "How many hours a week do you work?" "I don't. It's not like that. I post when I want." "How much money do you make?" "From sponsors? About $15,000 a month, plus my trust fund." "Your trust fund. How much is that?" "The monthly payment is $25,000. The gallery reacts, gasps, whispers. Someone says $40,000 a month. Another says for doing nothing. Judge Caprio doesn't react. "So you make $40,000 a month, almost $500,000 a year, and you've never had a real job, never worked for someone else, never had to worry about paying rent or buying groceries." "I mean, no, but that's not my fault. I was born into my family." "You're right. That's not your fault. But what you do with that privilege is your responsibility. And you've wasted it. You've taken something valuable, something that could be used for good, and you've used it to be cruel, to be careless, to be selfish." Victoria's eyes are getting wet, just slightly. She's not crying, not yet, but close. Mr. Chen works 7 days a week. 7 days, at 67 years old. He drives a school bus in the morning. He works for a rideshare company at night. He does this because his wife has cancer, because the medical bills are crushing him, because he loves his wife and he'll do anything to help her. Judge Caprio's voice gets even quieter. He makes about $40,000 a year, total, for 7 days a week of hard labor. You make that in 1 month, for posting pictures online. Victoria is crying now, real tears, running down her face, ruining her makeup. She tries to wipe them away, tries to maintain composure, but she can't. And you know what Mr. Chen did when he came before me? He apologized for a parking ticket while getting medicine for his dying wife. He apologized. He was respectful. He was humble. He was grateful when I showed him mercy. That man who has every reason to be angry at the world, at a system that makes him work himself to death just to survive, that man was kind. The judge looks at Victoria. You who have been given everything, who has never struggled, never suffered, you came in here with arrogance, with contempt, with cruelty. Victoria is full-on crying now, shoulders shaking, mascara running. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm sorry, I didn't think. That's exactly right. You didn't think. You've never had to think. Never had to consider anyone but yourself. Judge Caprio opens another folder. Let me show you something else. I have here the testimony of Mrs. Eleanor Patterson, the crossing guard, in her own words. He reads, I've been a crossing guard for 30 years. I've seen a lot of close calls, but I've never been so scared in my life. The white SUV came out of nowhere. I was holding Sophie's hand. She's such a sweet girl. Always says good morning to me. Always has a smile. When I saw that car, I knew we wouldn't make it across. I pulled Sophie back as hard as I could. We both fell. I heard Sophie scream. I felt my hip hit the sidewalk. I thought we were going to die. When I looked up, the car was gone. Didn't even slow down. That driver didn't care if we lived or died. The courtroom is silent. Dead silent. You can hear the air conditioning humming. Someone sniffles. Mrs. Patterson is 71 years old, Ms. Ashford. She fractured her hip. She had to have surgery. She was in the hospital for 4 days. She's in physical therapy now. She might never walk without pain again. And Sophie? Sophie has nightmares. She's afraid to cross the street now. Her mother says she wakes up screaming about the white car. Victoria is sobbing. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know it was that bad. You didn't know because you didn't care to know. You drove away. You went on with your day. You went to your lunch, your spa, your shopping, whatever you do. And those two people, those two human beings that you almost killed, they've been suffering ever since. Judge Caprio closes the folder. He takes a deep breath. Ms. Ashford, I've been on this bench for a long time. I've seen thousands of cases. I've seen people who made mistakes. People who were genuinely sorry. People who deserved second chances. And I've given those chances. Gladly. He looks directly at her. But I've rarely seen someone so completely lacking in empathy. So completely disconnected from the reality of their actions. And the scary part? You really believe what you said. You really think you're better than other people. That you matter more. Victoria shakes her head. No, I was upset. I didn't mean it. You meant every word. And you know what? That's not entirely your fault. You were raised that way. Your whole life, people have told you that you're special, that you're important, that rules don't apply to you. Your father has protected you from consequences. He's made your problems disappear. He's taught you that money and power can fix anything. Judge Caprio stands again. Well, I'm here to teach you something different. I'm here to teach you that actions have consequences. That being rich doesn't make you better. That privilege is a responsibility, not a free pass. Victoria looks terrified now, really terrified. What are you going to do? I'm going to give you a sentence, Ms. Ashford, a sentence that fits not just the crime, but the attitude, the cruelty, the contempt you've shown. He picks up his gavel. Victoria Marie Ashford, for the crime of reckless driving, endangering children in a school zone, and failure to render aid, I find you guilty. The gavel comes down. Bang. Your sentence is as follows. Judge Caprio begins. His voice is steady, firm, final. First, financial penalties. You are fined $15,750. This breaks down as follows. $10,000 for the reckless driving charge. $3,000 for endangering children. $2,000 for failure to render aid. $750 in court costs. The money will be paid directly to Mrs. Eleanor Patterson to cover her medical expenses and lost wages. You will also pay $5,000 to a fund for Sophie Martinez's future counseling and education. Victoria nods. She can afford it. Easy. That's nothing to her. Second, license suspension. Your driver's license is suspended for 180 days. 6 months. You will not drive. You will not operate any motor vehicle. If you are caught driving during this period, you will face immediate arrest and jail time. Victoria's face falls. But how will I get around? The same way millions of Americans do. Public transportation, rideshare services, walking. You'll figure it out. But I have things, places to be. Judge Caprio ignores her. Third, community service. This is the main component of your sentence. Pay attention. Everyone leans forward. This is what they've been waiting for. You will complete 200 hours of community service, but not just any community service. You will serve as a school crossing guard at Washington Elementary School, the same school where you almost killed Mrs. Patterson and Sophie. Victoria's mouth drops open. What? No, you can't make me. I absolutely can. You will report to Washington Elementary every school day for the next 6 months. Morning shift and afternoon shift. You'll work from 7 o'clock a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and from 2:30 p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. That's 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. You'll help children cross the street safely. You'll do exactly what Mrs. Patterson did, what she can no longer do because of you. The gallery erupts in applause. People are clapping. Some are cheering. The bailiff has to call for order. Judge Caprio continues, you will wear the official crossing guard vest, the bright yellow one with the reflective stripes, and on the back, it will say court-ordered community service. Everyone will know why you're there. You'll stand in the rain, in the cold, in the heat, just like Mrs. Patterson did for 30 years. Victoria is shaking her head. No, this is humiliating. That's exactly the point, Ms. Ashford. You need to understand what it means to serve others, to put someone else's safety above your own convenience, to do a job that matters. But my followers, they'll see me. They'll take pictures. Yes, they will, and you will not hide. You will not wear sunglasses or hats. Your face will be visible. If I hear that you've been rude to anyone, if you've been on your phone, if you've been anything less than professional, your sentence will be extended. Judge Caprio looks at Officer Martinez. Officer Martinez will supervise your service. He will inspect your work. He will submit weekly reports. You will treat him with respect. Do you understand? Victoria looks at Officer Martinez, the man whose daughter she'd almost killed, the man she tried to get fired. He's looking back at her with hard eyes. Yes, she whispers. Fourth, public accountability. You will issue a public apology, not through your lawyer, not some generic statement. You will write in your own handwriting a letter of apology to Mrs. Patterson and Sophie Martinez. It will be at least 500 words. It will be specific. It will be genuine. You will deliver it in person, at their home, with Officer Martinez present as a witness. Judge Caprio pauses. You will also post a public apology on your social media, the same account where you lied about Officer Martinez. You will tell the truth, all of it, what you did, why you were wrong, what you've learned, and you will keep it posted for a minimum of 1 year. If you delete it, you'll face contempt charges. Victoria is crying so hard she can barely breathe. Her perfect makeup is destroyed. Her confidence is completely shattered. Fifth, education requirement. You will attend a victim impact panel. You will listen to people whose lives have been destroyed by reckless drivers, by people who thought they were above the law. You will write an essay after each session, 1,000 words minimum, about what you learned, about how you'll change. I will read every single one. Judge Caprio isn't done. Sixth, special conditions. You are prohibited from posting anything about this case on social media except for the apology I ordered. No jokes, no complaints, no poor me content. If I see anything, if anyone sends me screenshots of you trying to make yourself the victim, I will hold you in contempt. He leans forward. And one more thing. You mentioned diplomatic immunity earlier. You mentioned your father being a senator. Let me be crystal clear about something. Your father is a state senator, not a federal official. And even if he were, family members don't get diplomatic immunity. That's not how it works. You have no immunity, no protection. You're subject to the same laws as everyone else. Judge Caprio picks up a piece of paper. In fact, I have something for you. This is a copy of my order. At the bottom, I've included a note to your father. It reads, Senator Ashford, your daughter was found guilty today of serious offenses. She endangered lives. She showed no remorse until faced with consequences. As her parent, you have failed to teach her the most basic lessons of citizenship. Responsibility, humility, compassion. I've given her a sentence designed to teach what you did not. I suggest you allow her to complete it without interference. Any further attempts to contact this court, to influence this case, or to circumvent this sentence will result in ethics complaints filed with the State Senate Committee. She needs to face consequences. Let her. Respectfully, Judge Frank Caprio. The courtroom is stunned. Did he just lecture a state senator? In writing? In the official record? Yes, he did. Victoria is staring at the paper. At the note. She knows her father will be furious. Actually furious. Not at the judge. At her for embarrassing him. For making him look bad. For forcing him into this position. Judge Caprio continues. Now, Ms. Ashford, there's one more component to your sentence. Because of your behavior in this courtroom today, your disrespect, your admission of attempted corruption, your statement that rules don't apply to you, I am also finding you in contempt of court. Victoria's head snaps up. What does that mean? It means you're going to jail, right now today, for 30 days. The courtroom explodes. People are gasping, talking. Some are applauding. The bailiff moves forward. Victoria backs up. No, you can't do this. I have rights. I'll appeal. My father will. Your father will do nothing, because I have the authority to enforce respect for this court, and you have shown nothing but contempt. Bailiff, take Ms. Ashford into custody. The bailiff, a man named Marcus Johnson, has been doing this job for 15 years. He's seen everything, but even he looks satisfied as he approaches Victoria with handcuffs. No, please don't do this. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Judge Caprio's voice softens slightly, just slightly. Ms. Ashford, this is a consequence. Just a consequence. You can serve your 30 days. You can complete your community service. You can learn from this, and you can become a better person, or you can continue to believe you're above the law, and you can end up back here, or worse. The choice is yours. The bailiff puts the handcuffs on Victoria's wrists. They click shut. The sound echoes in the quiet courtroom. Victoria is sobbing, trying to pull away, but gently, firmly, the bailiff guides her toward the holding area. As she passes Robert Chen, she stops, just for a second. I'm sorry, she says to him. Her voice is broken, raw. I'm so sorry for what I said. Robert looks at her, his old, kind eyes, and he nods. Just once. I forgive you, he says quietly. I hope you learn. That kindness breaks something in Victoria. She starts crying even harder. The bailiff leads her away. The door closes behind them. She's gone. The courtroom is silent for a long moment, processing what just happened. Then Judge Caprio speaks again. Let this be a lesson to everyone here. Justice is not for sale. Privilege is not a defense. We are all equal under the law. We're all citizens of this country, and we all have responsibilities to each other. He looks around the room. This young woman had every advantage. Wealth, education, opportunity, and she wasted it on selfishness, on cruelty. I've given her a chance to change, to become someone better, someone who uses her privilege to help instead of hurt. I hope she takes it. Judge Caprio gathers his papers. Court is adjourned. The gavel comes down one final time. Bang. People start filing out, talking. Some are filming on their phones. This is going to be everywhere, on the news, on social media, viral by tonight. Officer Martinez approaches the bench. Thank you, Your Honor, for my daughter, for Mrs. Patterson, for doing what's right. Judge Caprio shakes his hand. Thank you for your service, officer, and I'm glad Sophie is okay. Please give her my best. Robert Chen stands to leave. Judge Caprio calls to him. Mr. Chen, one moment, please. Robert approaches. Yes, Your Honor? How's your wife doing? Really? Robert's eyes fill with tears. She's fighting. She's strong. Stronger than me. Judge Caprio reaches into his pocket, pulls out his wallet, takes out a card. This is for a charity I work with. They help with medical expenses. Call them. Tell them I sent you. They might be able to help with the bills. Robert takes the card with shaking hands. Your Honor, I can't. You can, and you should. You serve this country. You serve these children every day. Let people help you for once. Robert can't speak. He just nods, clutches the card, wipes his eyes. And Mr. Chen, you're fine. The $50 I ordered. Consider it paid. You don't owe anything. Robert breaks down, right there. In the courtroom, Judge Caprio comes down from the bench, puts his hand on Robert's shoulder. Two men. Different backgrounds, different generations, different lives, but connected by basic human decency. The clerk watches this. She's crying too. This is why she loves this job. This is why she stays. For moments like this, when justice feels real, when it means something. 8 weeks later. It's 7:15 in the morning. Washington Elementary School. The sun is just coming up. It's cold, really cold. November in Providence. Frost on the grass. Wind cutting through clothes. Victoria Ashford stands on the corner. She's wearing jeans. Real jeans. Not designer. Just regular jeans from Target. A warm jacket. Gloves. Boots. And the yellow crossed and guard vest. Bright yellow. Impossible to miss. On the back, in big black letters, Court-ordered community service. She's holding a stop sign. The big red octagon a pole. Her hands are cold even with gloves. Her nose is running. Her hair is in a simple ponytail. No makeup, no jewelry, just her. The real her, without all the armor of wealth and privilege. A car pulls up. Officer Martinez gets out. He's here to supervise, to make sure she does the job right. He's been here every day for 8 weeks. Morning, Victoria says. Her voice is different now. Softer. No attitude. No edge. Morning, Officer Martinez responds. He's watching her. Evaluating. At 7:30, the children start arriving. Some walking. Some on bikes. Some dropped off by parents. They're young. Elementary age. 5 to 11 years old. Full of energy. Full of life. Victoria steps into the crosswalk. Holds up her stop sign. The cars stop. The children cross. They don't know who she is. Don't care about her social media. Don't care about her father. They just see the crossing guard, the person keeping them safe. A little girl drops her backpack. Books spill everywhere. Victoria kneels down. Helps her pick them up. There you go, sweetie. All set. The girl smiles. Thank you. Victoria smiles back. A real smile. The first genuine smile she's had in weeks. Officer Martinez sees this. Makes a note on his report. Progress. Real progress. Over the 8 weeks, things have changed. Slowly. Gradually, but really changed. Week 1, Victoria was miserable. Angry. Resentful. She stood there counting the minutes. Checking her phone when she thought no one was looking. Getting written up for it. Week 2, someone recognized her. Took her picture. Posted it online. Look who got humbled. The post went viral. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Most of them making fun of her. Calling her names. Enjoying her downfall. It hurt. A lot. But she couldn't respond. Couldn't defend herself. Judge's orders. Week 3, Mrs. Patterson showed up. Eleanor Patterson. The crossing guard Victoria almost killed. She's using a walker now. Still in pain. But healing. She stood there and watched Victoria work. Didn't say anything. Just watched. Victoria saw her. Broke down crying. Apologized. Really apologized. Mrs. Patterson listened. Then she said something that changed everything. Show me you mean it. Don't tell me. Show me. Be better. Week 4, Victoria met Sophie. Officer Martinez's daughter. The little girl she almost hit. Sophie came with her dad one morning. Victoria knelt down. Looked her in the eye. I'm so sorry I scared you. I'm so sorry I was careless. You're safe now, I promise. I'll never let anything hurt you here. Sophie looked at her dad. He nodded. Then Sophie hugged Victoria. Just wrapped her little arms around her and hugged her. Victoria sobbed, right there, in front of everyone. Week 5, it rained. Hard. Cold November rain. Victoria stood there anyway. soaked, freezing, didn't complain, didn't ask to leave, did her job. The school principal, Mrs. Lopez, saw this. Brought her coffee. You're doing good, kid. Keep it up. Week 6, Victoria started arriving early, helping kids who needed it, carrying backpacks for the little ones, high-fiving the older kids, learning names, asking about their days, actually caring. Week 7, a car tried to run the crossing. Didn't want to wait. Victoria stepped in front of it, held up her sign, stood her ground, protected those kids. The driver honked, yelled. Victoria didn't move. The car finally stopped. The kids crossed safely. Officer Martinez filed a report on that driver. Gave Victoria a nod of approval. Week 8. Now, present day, Victoria has completed 160 of her 200 hours. She's written her apologies, hand-delivered them, posted her public apology online, lost 50,000 followers, gained some respect. Now it's the afternoon shift, 2:30 p.m. School's getting out. The final bell rings. Kids pour out of the building, laughing, playing, running. So much energy. Victoria directs traffic, helps the kids cross, makes sure everyone's safe. She knows most of their names now, knows which ones need extra help, which ones are shy, which ones are fearless. A mom approaches her. Excuse me, are you Victoria? Victoria tenses. Here it comes. The judgment, the lecture. Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to say thank you. My son Danny, he's in 3rd grade. He talks about you all the time. Says you're the nicest crossing guard he's ever had. You helped him when his shoelace broke. Carried his project for him when it was too big. He thinks you're pretty cool. Victoria's eyes well up. Really? Really? I don't know your story. Don't care. I just know you're good with the kids, and that matters. The woman walks away. Victoria stands there, stunned. Someone said something nice. Someone saw her, not as a senator's daughter, not as an influencer, just as a person doing a job, doing it well. Officer Martinez approaches as the crowd thins. Last week, he says. What? Last week of service, you'll hit 200 hours in 7 days. Victoria nods. She should be excited, but she's not. Not really. Yeah. How do you feel about that? Victoria thinks for a moment, really thinks. Honestly, kind of sad. Officer Martinez raises an eyebrow, sad. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy. This has been the worst punishment ever. It's cold. It's hard. It's humiliating. Everyone knows why I'm here. I've been mocked online. I've lost friends, lost followers, lost my social life. She pauses, looks at the school. But I've learned more in these 8 weeks than in my entire life before. I've met real people. People who work hard, who care about each other, who aren't just using each other for clout or money or connections. Officer Martinez listens, says nothing. These kids, they're amazing. They're smart and funny and kind. And they don't care who my dad is. They don't care how much money I have. They just care if I'm nice to them, if I keep them safe, if I remember their names. Victoria wipes her eyes. I've been so stupid, so blind, so selfish. My entire life was about me, what I wanted, what I could get, who I knew, and it was empty, completely empty. I had 200,000 followers, but no real friends. I had money, but no purpose. I had everything, but nothing that mattered. She looks at Officer Martinez. I almost killed your daughter. I could have taken her from you. Forever. Because I was too selfish to slow down. Too self-centered to care about anyone else on the road. How do you not hate me? Officer Martinez is quiet for a long moment. Then he speaks. At first I did. I was so angry. When I saw Sophie in danger, when I heard her scream, something in me broke. I wanted to make you pay, really pay. He takes a breath. But then I saw you here, day after day, in the rain, in the cold, getting mocked, getting humbled. And I saw you change. I saw you start to care. I saw you become the person you should have been all along. Sophie forgave you. After 2 weeks, she said, Daddy, I think the crossing guard lady feels really bad. I think we should be nice to her. She's 6 years old and she has more wisdom than most adults. Victoria starts crying. Again, She's cried more in the last 2 months than in her entire life. So no, I don't hate you. I hope you learned. I hope you keep being this person. The person who cares, who helps, who uses her privilege for good instead of evil. Victoria nods, can't speak, too emotional. 10 days later, back in court. Judge Caprio's courtroom. Same room where it all started. Victoria stands before the judge. She looks completely different. Simple clothes, no design or anything. Hair natural, minimal makeup. But most importantly, her eyes are different. Clear, focused, humble. Judge Caprio reviews the paperwork in front of him. Officer Martinez reports, all positive. Mrs. Lopez's letter from the school. Glowing. Letters from parents. Thank you notes from children. Drawings. One from Sophie. A picture of Victoria as a superhero crossing guard. Ms. Ashford, you've completed your 200 hours of community service. You've served your 30 days in custody. You've paid your fines. You've issued your apologies. You've attended the victim impact panels and submitted your essays, which I've read. Victoria stands straight, respectful. Yes, Your Honor. Before I make my final ruling, I want to ask you some questions, and I want honest answers, just like last time. Yes, sir. What did you learn? Victoria takes a breath. She's prepared for this, but not with some lawyer-written speech, with her own words, her own truth. I learned that I was wrong about everything. I thought money made me valuable. It doesn't. I thought privilege made me special. It doesn't. I thought I was better than other people. I'm not. She continues, I learned that real value comes from what you do, how you treat people, what you contribute. Mr. Chen, the veteran I insulted, he has more value in his little finger than I had in my whole body, because he serves others. He works hard. He loves his family. He does the right thing even when it's hard. Judge Caprio nods, listening. I learned that the people I thought were beneath me, they're actually the people who make society work. The crossing guards, the bus drivers, the teachers, the nurses, the cops. They're the ones who matter, who keep things running, who keep people safe. And I disrespected them. I was so cruel, so blind. Victoria's voice shakes, but she keeps going. I learned that being a senator's daughter doesn't make me special. It makes me lucky. That's all. Luck. I didn't earn it. Didn't deserve it. Just got born into it, and I wasted it. I used it to be horrible instead of helpful. What will you do differently going forward? Victoria has thought about this a lot. I'm going back to school, riddle school, not just online classes. I'm going to get a degree in social work or education, something that helps people. I'm shutting down my influencer accounts, all of them. That life was fake, shallow, empty. She looks directly at Judge Caprio. I want to keep being a crossing guard. Mrs. Lopez said I could volunteer. Even after my sentence is done, I want to do that. Those kids, they matter to me now. I care about them, and I'm good at it. It feels good to do something that matters. Judge Caprio's expression softens, just slightly. What about your father? What does he think about all this? Victoria's face hardens, just a bit. We're not speaking right now. He's angry, says I embarrassed him, hurt his career, made him look bad. He wanted me to appeal, to fight this, to hire expensive lawyers and make it go away. But you didn't. No, sir, because you were right. Everything you said was right. I needed this. I needed to face consequences. I needed to learn. If he can't understand that, that's his problem, not mine. The courtroom is silent. Everyone is listening. This is different from last time. So different. Judge Caprio stands, walks down from his bench, approaches Victoria. He's holding a folder. Ms. Ashford, I've been doing this job for a very long time. I've sentenced thousands of people. I've seen lots of transformations. Some real, some fake. Most people tell me what I want to hear. They apologize because they have to, not because they mean it. He opens the folder. But you, I think you mean it. I've read these reports. I've seen the changes. I've read your essays. They're thoughtful. Deep. Real. You're not just going through the motions. You've actually changed. Victoria's eyes fill with tears, but she holds them back, stays composed. I'm impressed. Truly impressed. You could have done the bare minimum. could have counted the hours and left, but you didn't. You threw yourself into it. You cared. You grew. Judge Caprio closes the folder. Therefore, I am officially releasing you from probation. Your sentence is complete. Your record will show that you fulfilled all requirements. Exceeded them, actually. Victoria exhales, relief flooding through her. But I want to say one more thing. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. You started a journey to become a better person. Don't stop now. Don't go back to who you were. Keep being this person who helps kids cross the street safely, who cares about others, who uses her privilege for good. I will, Your Honor, I promise. Judge Caprio reaches out his hand. Victoria shakes it. A real handshake. Firm, respectful, equal. Good luck, Ms. Ashford. I'm rooting for you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything. For not giving up on me. For teaching me what I needed to learn. Judge Caprio returns to his bench. Court is adjourned. The gavel comes down. Bang. Victoria turns to leave. Officer Martinez is there. He extends his hand. Proud of you, he says simply. Thank you for supervising me, for being tough when I needed it, for showing me grace when I didn't deserve it. Sophie is there too. She runs up and hugs Victoria's legs. You're still coming to school, right? You promised. Victoria kneels down. Eye level with the little girl. I promised. I'll be there. Every day. You're stuck with me. Sophie grins, runs back to her dad. As Victoria walks out of the courtroom, she passes Robert Chen. He's there for another matter. Some paperwork. When he sees her, he stands, tips his veteran's cap. A sign of respect. Victoria stops. Mr. Chen, I owe you an apology. A real one. Robert smiles, kind eyes crinkling. You already apologized, young lady. In your letter. It was beautiful. Genuine. It wasn't enough. What I said to you about your work not mattering, it was the cruelest thing I've ever said. You're a hero. You served our country. You serve those kids every day. You're caring for your wife through the hardest time. You're everything I should aspire to be. Robert's eyes get wet. That's very kind. Thank you. I hear you're staying on as a crossing guard. Yes, sir. Someone wise told me that showing is better than telling. I want to show that I've changed. That I learned? Robert nods. Good. The world needs more people like that. People who learn. Who grow. Who choose to be better. They shake hands. Two very different people. Connected by a moment of cruelty that became a moment of growth. 6 months later. Victoria Ashford stands outside Washington Elementary. It's May now. Warm. Sunny. The school year is almost over. She's been here every single day. Rain or shine. Cold or hot. She never missed a shift. Not once. She's not wearing the court-ordered vest anymore. She's wearing the regular crossing guard vest. Mrs. Lopez got her one. Made her official. She even gets paid now. Minimum wage. $15 an hour. She's never been more proud of money in her life. Because she earned it. Really earned it. A news crew approaches. They've heard the story. Want to do a follow-up. Can we ask you some questions? Victoria hesitates, then nods. Sure. The reporter starts. 6 months ago, you went viral for all the wrong reasons. You were sentenced to community service after almost hitting a crossing guard and a child. How has your life changed? Victoria thinks carefully. It's changed completely. That day in court, Judge Caprio held up a mirror. He made me see who I really was, and I was ashamed, disgusted. I was cruel and selfish and blind. I thought money made me special. I thought privilege meant I didn't have to care about anyone else. And now? Now I know better. Now I understand that we're all connected, that we all have value, that the measure of a person isn't their bank account or their followers or their connections. It's how they treat others, what they contribute, how they make the world better. The reporter asks, you could have left after your sentence was done. Why did you stay? Victoria smiles. Because these kids need me. Because this job matters. Because for the first time in my life, I'm doing something real. Something important. I'm keeping children safe. I'm part of a community. I'm making a difference. What would you say to people watching this? people who might be struggling with privilege or entitlement. Victoria looks directly at the camera. I'd say wake up. Wake up before it's too late. Before you hurt someone. Before you waste your whole life being selfish. Privilege is a gift. Use it to help people. To lift others up. To make the world better. Don't waste it like I did. Don't be cruel like I was. Be better. You can be better. I know because I did it. And if I can change, anyone can. The interview ends. The news crew packs up. Victoria goes back to her post. The afternoon bell will ring soon. The kids will come pouring out. She'll help them cross safely. She'll high-five them. Learn about their day. Make sure they get home safe. A car pulls up. A Tesla, expensive. A woman gets out. She looks familiar. Victoria realizes it's her mother. She hasn't seen her in months. Not since the sentencing. Mom? Her mother approaches slowly. Uncertain. Hi, sweetie. What are you doing here? I needed to see you, to see if what I heard was true. What did you hear? That you changed, that you're different. Your father, he said you embarrassed him, but I needed to see for myself. Victoria nods. I did embarrass him. I embarrassed myself. But I'm not embarrassed anymore. I'm proud. Proud of who I'm becoming. Her mother looks at the vest, the stop sign, a school, a crossing guard. My daughter is a crossing guard. Yes, I am, and I'm good at it. Her mother's eyes fill with tears. I'm proud of you too, Victoria, really proud. Not of what you have, not who you know, but of who you are, who you're becoming. They hug right there, on the corner, mother and daughter, reconnecting, starting over. The bell rings, kids come running out. Victoria steps into position, holds up her stop sign. The cars stop. The children cross, safe, protected, cared for. That evening, Judge Frank Caprio sits in his chambers. It's late. Everyone else has gone home. He's reviewing cases for tomorrow. A knock on the door. Come in. Mrs. Lopez enters, the principal from Washington Elementary. Judge Caprio, I hope I'm not disturbing you. Not at all. What can I do for you? I wanted to update you on Victoria Ashford. I know you sentenced her to work at our school. I wanted you to know that she's been extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. Judge Caprio smiles. I've heard good things. It's more than good. She's changed the culture at our school. She started a kindness club. She mentors struggling students. She organized a fundraiser for Mrs. Patterson's medical bills. Raised $30,000. She's become a leader. Mrs. Lopes hands him a folder. These are letters from parents, from students. They all say the same thing. Victoria makes their children feel safe, feel valued, feel important. She remembers details about their lives. She cares, really cares. Judge Caprio reads through the letters. His eyes get wet. He's an old man now. He's seen a lot. But this is special. Thank you for telling me. This is why I do this job. Not to punish people. To help them. To give them a chance to be better. Mrs. Lopez nods. You gave her more than a chance. You gave her a purpose. You changed her life. After she leaves, Judge Caprio sits alone in the quiet. He thinks about that day 6 months ago, when Victoria stood before him. Arrogant, cruel, lost. He thinks about the choice he made, to be tough, to be firm, to not let privilege win. He thinks about all the people like Victoria, people who have everything but understand nothing, people who need someone to hold up that mirror, to show them who they really are, and who they could be. He picks up his copy of the Constitution, the worn old book he's carried for decades. He opens it to the 14th Amendment, reads the words again. Equal protection of the laws. That's what this is all about. Not revenge, not punishment, but equal protection. Equal accountability. Equal opportunity to learn, to grow, to change. Judge Caprio closes the book, puts it back in his pocket, right over his heart, where it's always been, or it always will be. He turns off the light, heads home. Tomorrow there will be more cases, more people who need that mirror held up, more chances to make a difference. And he'll be ready, because this is what justice looks like, not just punishing the guilty, but redeeming the lost, not just enforcing the law, but teaching why the law matters. Not just treating everyone the same, but giving everyone the same chance to be better. This is Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, where privilege doesn't matter, where money can't buy outcomes, where the Constitution isn't just words on paper. It's a promise kept, every single day. And somewhere across town, Victoria Ashford sets her alarm. 5:30 a.m., early morning shift tomorrow. Kids need to get to school safely, and she'll be there, making sure they do. Because she learned something important, something that changed everything. Money can buy many things. It can buy cars and clothes and influence, but it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. It cannot erase consequences. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is earned through accountability, through growth, through change. Victoria Ashford learned that lesson the hard way, but she learned it, and she'll never forget it. Neither will anyone who watched, or anyone who reads this story, because this is what happens when privilege meets reality, when arrogance meets accountability, when someone finally says no, when someone holds up the Constitution and reminds us all, we are equal, under the law, in this courtroom, in this country. All of us, rich or poor, powerful or powerless, senator's daughter or veteran bus driver, equal. That's not just a word, it's a promise, one that Judge Frank Caprio keeps every single day.